do was really connect our audience with the honorees. So we decided to have a panel discussion. We're going to ask them a few questions.
Monica Maldonado, Interprint Communications. Pat Latier, Atlanta Tribune, the magazine. Amber O'Neill, Cafe Cuisine. Angela Harrington Rice, Women's Place. Deloitte Babaker, Intellectual Concepts,
These
LLC.
ladies here have collectively, and I counted, there's over 200 years of experience between all of our honorees. So we thank you, we salute you, we honor you. And in order for us to connect, we want to ask you some questions. You know, all of this experience has afforded us some knowledge, and wherever you get the knowledge from, it's important that you get it. So we're going to be asking a couple of questions, and then we're going to open it up to maybe take 1 or 2 questions from the audience to our panel. So I'm just going to get started. Number 1, okay, everybody has an aha moment, or a moment when you know that you're about to make a change, or something great is going to happen, or this thing is going to be the thing that I'm going to do. So I want to know from the ladies, and you can raise your hands and let me know, what is your aha moment? That's one of the questions that we got from some of our clients.
Mine was probably 26.5 years ago. I was in corporate America. I was in Atlanta. We're all family, so I'll say this right out. I was a black female working in a white male-dominated program that actually was in healthcare, and I just realized I did not have to bow down to the white males who were not as educated, not as polished, did not know what they were talking about. I went to HR and said, I'm leaving. That was my moment, and I used to have migraines every other 6 months or so and was on medication. When I left that corporation, I threw away all the pills. I didn't need them anymore.
I think mine was a little different. I was sitting in my second CIO seat, the first CIO seat that I had a position I had held for a nonprofit. After 3 years, new CEO came in and they wanted a whole level, new C-level seat, so I left. The second CIO seat, before I went in, I asked for what's my exit package, because I didn't know they asked the first time, so I knew they asked the second time to make sure I had some money when they let me go again. And so after that time, I decided, you know what, I can manage 200 people and manage a $7 million budget for somebody else. I can manage my own company. So I went totally independent, and that's what made me start it. I can do it for someone else, I can do it for myself.
I think that I just had my aha moment today. Really. But you know, the first time that I heard about aha moment, I heard it in Oprah. And then she was having a series with Eckhart Tolle about really being in the moment. And I am the type of personality that is always in a rush, that I can't wait for tomorrow to come, that I'm always planning for the next step. And the moment in time that I realize that to savor the goodness of those around you and the people that you love, you really have to be still, then that was a time that I understood that powerless over others' actions and the own of yourself, you can really embrace whatever is coming to you, because you definitely have a higher power in the God Almighty that will take care of you.
I think my aha moment was I also was working in corporate America, and I had a lot of vacation time, and I told my boss that I wanted to go to Chicago for a week because my father was dying and I wanted to spend a week with him. And my boss told me he had to think about it. And so I thought to myself, I hope you come up with yes, because I've already made my plane ticket and I am going. But I said okay. So he finally at the last minute told me that he thought it would be okay. I was working on marketing toilet paper, and really resentful that there was a thought that something that important could happen in the industry in my week off, toilet paper. So when I got back, I got my affairs in order and waited for my bonus, and I quit. and I started my own business. And so I was there by his side when he passed away, and so I never regretted that. And at that time, I thought to myself that I need to have control over my life and where I spend my time and what my priorities truly are.
I think in life we have many aha moments. I remember my first aha moment came when I think I must have been between 3 and 5 years old. And at my church, every Sunday, children had to do a recitation before the congregation. And that morning, I decided that I was going to recite the 23rd Psalm. And when I got up to repeat the 23rd Psalm, I forgot most of it. And I was devastated, and I wanted to know what in the world could I do. Well, without telling my grandmother or any other person, I went to one of the deacons in the church and I said, there is a program tonight. Can I recite the 23rd Psalm? And he said, will you do it better than you did this morning? And I said, I will do it perfectly. And that night at 7 p.m., they started the program and they said, first on our program is little Angela Denise Harrington. And I walked forward in front of all of those people and I recited the 23rd Psalm perfectly. And I realized at that moment, we do get second chances in life, and that we have to take advantage of those second chances. And so if we find ourselves anywhere that we don't want to be, know that there is another opportunity for you to express yourself to a greater level. The other aha moment came when I was at Atlanta Interfaith Broadcasters. I had been there for a number of years, and I really wasn't happy because I didn't feel like my soul was being expressed. And so I remembered a quote by Booker T. Washington that said, cast your buckets where you are. And I decided at that moment that I wanted to be a voice for the women of Atlanta. And I submitted a proposal for the television program, A Woman's Place. And that was the thing that made my job bearable. It made me want to get up in the morning. It made me want to share your stories with the rest of Atlanta and the world. So we're always experiencing aha moments. We just have to be still enough to recognize them.
That was good, huh? I told you all that these years of experience will certainly give us some insight today. I have one more question. What are the core attributes, and all of you may have a different spin on this, that business owners and entrepreneurs should have?
I have 3, and I liberated these from folks I've heard throughout my life and growing up in business. The 3 C's, keep your curiosity, because as business owners we can't stay stagnant in the business that we start. We have to be open enough to look at things outside the box. Keep our courage, because it took courage for us to take this step and reach out. And I can only answer for myself. I decided to truly blossom in my business 2 years ago when the economy was down, and trust me, it took a lot of courage. The other is compassion. Everything that we're building, everything that we do, it is not ours. It belongs to someone else. And it's our responsibilities to reach back and bring someone forward. Take someone with you. Continue to mentor. And so keep the 3 C's: curiosity, courage, and compassion.
The stage, because I really need to have these core attributes to keep business going. And I was just kidding about that one. But I don't have such a great mind as you that just can blur it out. So I think that one of the ones that I want to share is to the inner network. Cultivate your networks. because it is around the people that you surround yourselves and your mentors and your sponsors and those advisors that you have that could, at any point given time in your business careers, you can pull from their wisdom, their successes, their experiences. And so a network and building that kind of network is very important. Another one for me that has been great is adaptability. Truly, in such a changing environment, where, you know, 1 year is different from the other, 1 month is different from the other, 1 day is different from the other, you need to adapt. You need to realize that things are changing daily. And when your business doesn't fit the purpose that you initiated, you immediately need to take a stand and change your culture and focus on something that is going to make it work. That's one. The other thing, can I go back and check this out? Okay, all right. The next one is balance. Balance, lifestyle, and the management, because really your business can suck the energy out of you if you let it. You know, you're so enthusiastic starting it, you're so wanting to make the best of it that you know, it takes your time. And there's nothing like a worse manager out there that truly doesn't represent what we've learned here today. Look, the Riverdale mayor, with that enthusiasm, has a balanced budget. You know, you gotta laugh about that. She has to have the energy of where she has come from. So truly, it's a sense of balanced family and balance your business.
I would say the first one for me is that you have to be self-motivated, because you no longer really have a boss. So in the mornings, I can drag those out. I gotta get my chai latte from Starbucks. It's just the right temperature, 2 pumps. Then I get started, I want to take a shower, and we watch a little Dora the Explorer, and make a few phone calls, and check Facebook, and all these things go on, and you know, at some point I've got to start my day. And so for me, it's making sure that I'm always staying self-motivated, and knowing that there's something inside that drives me to cut out all the fluff and handle my business and get my work done for the day. And the second thing is, I would say, tenacity. So the ability to keep going even when things get hard. And it actually took my husband to call to my attention that every Friday I say I want to quit, like close my business. And really is, I just need a nap. So he's like, you say that all the time, just go take a nap. But, you know, you start getting tired, and I always say I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit, I'm done with this, I'm too tired, you know, it's too hard. And so you have to be tenacious, that even when times get hard, even when you need a nap, that you're going to keep doing what needs to be done to see yourself through to success.
I would say that building and maintaining relationships is very important. You know, people do business with people they like. People give you more of themselves when they like you as the manager of or the business owner. You know, you can have everything, you can have the best accounts, you can do everything perfectly, but if nobody likes you, you will be doing it all by yourself. Nobody is going to go the extra mile for you. No one is going to go all across town to shop at your store or to order a product from you. So you have to think about that. How am I building relationships? Not only relationship with others, but also a relationship with you. And recognizing that what you do is bigger than what you think it is. You know, because you've been given these gifts and talents from a higher power. So recognizing to have the relationship with something greater than yourself. Having a relationship with yourself so you understand why you're doing what you're doing. You know, what is really motivating you? And then having a relationship with those persons who work for you or those persons who do business with you. And recognize that people are whole people. You know, they're not just a person who shows up at your job at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. Those people had a life, like her father. You know, and a lot of times we kind of extricate people from their whole lives. And we have to recognize that everyone we do business with, everyone who works for us, everyone we come in contact with has a whole life. You know, and so when we are with them, we are interacting with the life that they have. Thank you.
Okay. I said one more, but I just want one more. This one is good. If you could change one thing during your journey, what would it be and why?
I actually grew up across a railroad track. Like our mayor said, poverty. Stood in line at Thanksgiving and Christmas when they gave free turkeys and peanut butter to low-income families. I don't know if that was the title back then. Knew what time it was because the train came right in front of my front door. And if it was 12 and the train had not been there, we all knew something was wrong. We didn't have the internet back then. If I could have changed anything else, I think not. Because coming from poverty, working hard, babysitting for 50 cents or something like that an hour, being very appreciative of the Sunday best clothes, the good shoes, those shoes and that one dress that you had to save for Sunday, getting a scholarship for college and still working on the weekend, those things helped me to where I am now, to appreciate. If I had been born with all the money, I don't know if I'd be where I am right now. You know, I'm sorry. There's nothing in my life I would have changed. It's been wonderful.
I think I would have to ditto that. I think, you know, he puts us where we're supposed to be when he wants us. And so, from the flesh, if I could change something, it would probably, I would have a little bit more money when I started the business. But from a spiritual place, he doesn't give us anything that we can't handle, and he has things happen when he wants it. People like me, he has to slow down because I'm very quick, so I try to help him along the way, but he has taught me that it's not your path, it is my path that I'm choosing for you.
You know, those are one of those questions that you say, you know, for real. I mean, what the experiences that we've had and the choices that we've made in our lives is what makes the people, the persons that we are. Good, bad decisions, that's the kind of forte that we have and the years that we've lived. But if I were to look back, and I got in trouble answering this question before, but it's no longer an issue, my husband is not around, but he said that I probably would not have married as young as I did at age 17, but not for the reason that I just didn't go to college at the right time. You know, everything has a time and a season, you know. But then again, I wouldn't be enjoying today a 30-year-old daughter that I have. She's a gorgeous, very successful woman, a 2.5 grandchild, young grandmother. You know, I wouldn't be able to enjoy that. A 17-year-old son, you know. And so really, I really thank for everything that in my life I have picked right or wrong, because I've learned from it. And you know, that's what makes us strong women. To learn from the things that might have not been the right choices.
I'd say for me, I would, you know, if I could go back, I wish someone would have told me that there would be a day that I would no longer want to work in my business, that my focus would be working on my business. So when I started my business as a fitness and nutrition company, nobody would have been able to tell me that I did not want to be a personal trainer until the day I died. And I was just going to train clients all day, and we were going to do that little Hollywood thing right here in Atlanta. And after about 3 or 4 weeks of that, I was like, this is not what I want to do. I want to run this company and work on this company, but I no longer want to work in the company. So that required me to totally change my whole business model, my whole business plan, and restructure my day as well. And so I wish that someone had told me that, because I didn't think that day would ever come.
The thing that I would have done differently was I would have saved more money. You know, when you're young, you try to spend it all. You know, you want to buy the designer shoes and the designer purses, and you spend a lot of money. And if you think about all of the money you've spent, for whatever reason, many of us could have retired by now. You know, so if I had to do anything over, I would have been a lot more frugal with money You know, recognizing that money is a tool, you know, and not been so much of a consumer out there trying to, you know, buy all of the latest things. And, you know, it's amazing how much money I went through in college. You know, and it was nothing to buy a pair of shoes for $100, $200. Imagine if I had invested that money. You know, and I think this is a time in our history where we're learning to appreciate money better. You know, it's a time when we're really looking at how we spend our money. You know, and so I think that is a lesson that I really want every young person to learn, that money is a tool, and it's a tool that can be used effectively. So think about that every penny you spend is your life energy going forward. You know, so is your life energy worth that? You know, so those are the things that I would think about, again, placing my money where it really counts.